So it was quite windy last night. When I got to the shelter, all of the tent sites were down rocky paths, decently long rocky paths from the shelter. So I went down to about the third one, set my tent up there. I was kind of in a hurry because, you know, I was tired and sore, and I just wanted to get the tent up, eat my food, and go to bed. So I did. And I get in bed and realize, oh great, this is slanted, I can tell already. And then you really start telling when you're asleep and you try rolling around and the bed is all like pushed up against, or your air mattress, I mean, is pushed up against one side of the tent, and you're like falling off, and everything in your tent is over there on that side. And then the wind, you know, blowing around, ended up pulling the stakes out, and the tent was blowing in on me, and I was too lazy, too tired to get up. I just let the tent lay on me, pushed up against me. It was not a great sleep, but my feet feel good now. That's all I needed, was my feet to feel better. It's going to be a short day. I'm only going about 3 miles down to a road, and the hostel I'm going to stay at, which is the Stumble Inn, I guess it's the owner, the shuttle driver, is going to come pick me up, and I'll be there. So he's going to get me about 8:45. So I have 2 hours walking here to go 3 miles. Needless to say, I could go very slow if I want. But it's going to be a short day. Going to do my laundry, upload some videos, eat some food, wait out this storm and rain that's going to happen today, the cold front that's coming through, and hit it again in the morning. And going to the roller coaster next. I think I got about 10 miles or so before I get to the roller coaster, but that I hear is a fun little bit of terrain, but probably no different than what I've been doing. It's up and down, up and down, up and down, but I'll find out. Everything else is hearsay until I actually do it and give my review of it. But like I said, short morning. It was red this morning in the sky. You know what they say about that. Red in the morning, sailors take warning. So it's supposed to be pretty stormy. That wind kicking up last night might have been an indication. You know, the rain in front coming through. But yeah, I'll show you some of the hostel, and you know, any good views that I get in the next 3 miles, I'll be happy to share those with you as well. But I'm going to get down here, probably eat me some more donuts when I get down to the road. Just make sure I'm there plenty early in case he shows up early. All right, it's going to be a beautiful day, minus the rain. I'm walking quite slowly, about as slow as I could possibly walk, because I don't want to get there too early and just be sitting. So I figure Well, I don't want to sit at camp anymore. I already ate. If I sit there any longer, I'll just eat more. I'd rather just get there and be walking in nature and doing something. So that's what I'm doing, but I'm still going to get there too early. I cannot walk much slower than what I'm walking. And I'm walking so slow this time of day, and it's actually making me feel like I'm falling asleep as I'm walking. It's kind of a funny sensation. It's like I feel my eyes shutting. Like, what the heck? Falling asleep while you're walking? I mean, I would walk faster, but I'm just going to get there too early and just be sitting along the side of a road waiting for a ride. Or my ride, I guess. Not a ride, but I guess it's the same thing. I don't know. My brain just never stops questioning the last thing I said. Oh, but I'm going to keep on going here. Just trying to have a nice, slow, steady pace. I can't talk. It's too early. I'm like trying to say steady space. Trying to have a nice, slow, steady pace. Thinking about all the food I can eat. Thinking about the relaxation before heading out again and crushing the miles over the next week. Nice things to think about. But then I start thinking about the food and I start speeding up. I'm like, oh, nope, don't speed up. You don't want to get there too fast. Time it just right. All right, continuing on. Can't wait to see this place. Look, a little creek. I haven't seen a little creek in all of Shenandoah. Only spring pipes, or pipe springs. Spring pipes. Oh my goodness. Oh, wow. I need to rest, I think. My brain is tired. Did not sleep good last night, like I said, so I definitely could use that rest. It looks like up here is a road, but this isn't my road. This is the first road, and the second road is my road. I think it's 511, or maybe 522. I don't know. But it's the next road. It's like another mile up. Another mile up, and I still have an hour and 15 minutes. It's nice to see a little creek again, though. As the one thing about Shenandoah that I wasn't a big fan of, just not that much water and creeks and such. I'm sure there was, like, off-trail, side trails or whatnot, but there was a waterfall there. I know that, but that was, like, looking down on it. You weren't, like, right there at it, so the Appalachian part of Shenandoah seems to be a bit dry. But as long as they have the pipe springs, said it right that time, then at least there's water there. All right, this is where that 300 foot of ascension, I guess, is. And then it goes down again to the road. Here's a really pretty view, but a big fence right in between me and the view. Must be private land or something. That is really gorgeous there, all those greens. Wow. This is kind of cool walking here in this last little section of trail before the road. Because on this side was that fence with the really cool views of the rolling green hills with the farms scattered amongst it. And then on this side over here is a bunch of houses that come right up to the Appalachian Trail. If it wasn't for the fact that I really like land and I want, I would want like 4 or 5 acres of land out here. This would be a really cool area for being right on the trail like this. or right next to the trail, I should say. But I'm getting close to the road. You could probably hear the cars in the distance. I'm like 0.1 miles. Definitely here about 40 minutes early, so looks like I'm going to have to raid my bear can again, but that's okay, because I had a great find, and I don't know if I've told you yet, but one of those Midways in Shenandoah, they had Devil's Food Cake chocolate honey buns. I'm telling you right now, it'll change your life. You will never want a normal honey bun again. Chocolate honey bun is so rich and deep with chocolate flavor. Oh my goodness. It is delicious. 450 calories. You know, just the thing you need with about 6 donuts in the morning to get those calories and sugar right off the bat before you start the day. So, yeah, I think I'm going to do that while I'm waiting on this shuttle, and then I'm going to get to some rest and relaxation. Look, we got a lake over here. Looks like a little pond or something. Private property, so I can't go over there, but hold it. Let's see if we can get a view of it at least. Yep, looks like we can. No trespassing, so we won't trespass. No trespassing, but we can at least look at the view. That's pretty. All right, so carrying on. Gonna eat that chocolate honey bun. Get with this shuttle. Get to the Stumble Inn. Take a shower. Good Lord, I need a shower. It's been so hot and muggy the last few days. I've sweated so much. My clothes are going to be happy to get their shower. I'm going to be happy to get my shower. Then I'm going to eat a lot of food and just rest and upload some videos and take it easy today. Show you some videos of the land. Apparently it overlooks a big valley, big deck, big fire pit or something. I don't know. But there we go. The last and final walk up to the road. All right, see y'all in a bit. One more is not going to hurt anyone. So this is the hostel, which is called Stumble Inn, in which I stayed yesterday for my Nero to get out of the rain and the storm. Had a great breakfast this morning from David and Stumbles. Great little place here. This is the community area. Big deck overlooking a valley with a grill, the big Appalachian Trail flag out there. I mean, just a great spot. Got a couple guitars up here, which you know I had to play. Here's the valley overlooking the valley from the deck. Just beautiful scenery. Really nice home out here in the country at the north end of Shenandoah. So back on the trail this morning. Let's get those miles. So far, pretty cruisy trail today. A little bit of an incline, but very, very, very gradual up to this point. Hardly any rocks, just nice soft dirt with some pine needles on some of it. As you can see, it's very green. Spring is definitely here, especially after all that rain and storm yesterday. And it helps the dirt be softer, which is much better for the feet. Probably going to be going about 20-25 miles today. 55 miles, I believe, is the number to Harper's Ferry. And I'll be taking a Nero there. So I will plan that where I could get, or time it, I should say, where I can get there early in the morning like I did yesterday, to where I get most of the day. So like a near zero Nero, I guess, best way to say that. Get plenty of rest before attempting the 4-state challenge, which I will go in more detail about as we get closer, but that's just a few days away. But for right now, I'm enjoying this trail, nice and cruisy. After Shenandoah, obviously things get a little flatter for a little while, and then hit the rocks of Pennsylvania. So a lot of cool things to look forward to. Really close to the halfway point and the half-gallon challenge. So a lot of things to look forward to, but right now just looking forward to today, at this moment, one step at a time. Already shed my layers off. It's actually cool out, like in the 50s. That sun coming down and kind of a humid air. Then I just had an incline that was gradual, but it was going up, so it was, you know, working me a little bit. It just made me start pouring sweat, so I was like, man, I gotta take all this off. Too hot. Especially since tonight and the next couple nights, it's gonna get down close to freezing at night. It's gonna be pretty much in the 50s and 60s for at least 100, 150 miles up for like the next 10 days or 7 days at least. Check the weather while I had my Nero yesterday of all the different areas I'll be going through. Pretty low elevation, so I won't have to worry about being really cold up top. But yeah, the next couple nights down to the low 30s, upper 20s in some areas. But then it'll be like 40s at night. So it's still spring, early spring, you know, especially when you get up here like in close to Pennsylvania. You know, obviously it gets a little cooler up in these areas than it does in the Carolinas and Tennessee. So we'll be dealing with that. Sleep and everything, so I don't want the clothes being wet or anything. Man, it is so green here. It just blown my mind from a couple weeks ago and how brown everything was. It's just so beautiful and green and full of life, and flowers are blooming. Another reason I'm sweating is because it was a town day, so I ate a lot, drank a lot. Obviously filling up on those calories and getting hydrated and the salts and everything. Pretty much salt and pepper everything while I'm in town. So a lot of stuff to sweat out, I guess. And just as I start talking here in this video clip, it started getting rocky. I was liking it without the rocks, but you know, as much as I say against the rocks, you all probably think I don't like the rocks. I do like the rocks. I don't mind the rocks at all. Just sometimes, like when I'm going to eat, and I'm in a hurry, they annoy me a little bit. But besides that, the only time they annoy me is when they hurt my feet, or I've already went 27 miles for the day, then all of a sudden there's a mile or two of just real rocky trail. I'm not a big fan of that at all. But I had a great Nero. It was a great hostel, great host. They both have through hiked the Appalachian Trail, and a husband and wife team, just great people, great home, very inviting, very home-like, makes you feel very comfortable. I mean, it was so comfortable I contemplated even staying another day. Obviously I wanted to keep moving though, but I'm like, man, it is so comfortable here. I could just totally chill out another day and rest here, eat some more food. But obviously that costs money. Talking about money, ran into a gentleman there that had been following me on YouTube, and he donated while he was there. Said, hey man, I wanted to give this to you, pay for your hostel stay and help out with osteoporosis. So I wanted to give him a special shout out and thank you. Not that his is any more special than anyone else who donates, but that was really cool that as soon as he walked in, he says, I know you, you're Fortune. That's kind of cool, but yeah, he helped out. So special thanks to David. Really do appreciate that. So getting there, getting long way from the goal, but we're getting there little by little. I know y'all stand with me and your prayers and support and monetarily and everything. I really appreciate it all. We're going to get there together as a team, and just hope I can keep inspiring those that may have new diagnosis and those who have family members and those who don't even have it to keep in shape, get out here, because you never know what's going to happen in life that might stop you from being able to do this kind of thing. So I always say, man, I've had a lot of tragedies in my life, a lot of people here one minute and gone the next. And I know firsthand way too many times in my life that life is a precious thing. It can go away at any moment. So you got to get out there and enjoy life and live life, whatever that might mean for you. It means different things to different people. This is one part of how I live life. Adventuring and climbing mountains and, you know, hiking the trails, just being part of nature, being around the wild beast, so to speak. So I love doing this and love meeting the people that also love to do this. Anyone I've ever come across on the trail when I'm through hiking, I hope you all know I'm not trying to be rude or anything, just I'm on a mission each day and, you know, run into a lot of people each day going the other direction. I can't have conversations with everybody, obviously, so I try to be cordial and say hi and wish you good luck on your hike and enjoyment. I hope you all don't. I hope nobody's ever been offended, like, well, he didn't stop and have a conversation with me. I can't do that with everybody, obviously. I have a goal in mind and places to be and miles to tear up each day and mountains to summit. So I love y'all just the same. But we're going to have a great day today. Not a whole lot of elevation coming close to the roller coaster, but I probably will get there at the beginning of where it starts or maybe a couple miles into it before I call it a day. It's still about 20 miles up here, so roller coaster is really just a bunch of up and downs on a hill, just like a roller coaster, or several hills, up, down, but nothing real high elevation. So very similar to what I've been doing. But I hear a couple of them are steeper, so should be fun because I live for that kind of stuff, so we'll see what it is. But just going to keep taking the day as it comes and conquering and enjoying the beauty of nature. It's going to be beautiful for the next several days after the nice little rain yesterday moistened the ground, gave some much needed water for the lands and Mother Nature, taking care of her beautiful living things out here. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. All right, I'll talk to you later. I'm just going to keep walking. I just can't get over how much different it looks from even yesterday before the rain. It's been getting really green lately. Now the terrain's different here, different kinds of trees, but I mean, it is just night and day of how much green it is. It's just green everywhere. Definitely looks like a forest. Well, it is a forest, but it looks like one now, with it being all green instead of being able to see for hundreds of yards in between the trees in every which direction. Now, the wildlife will probably even get more prominent and populated just because there's more places for them to hide and be camouflaged. But wow, it sure does look beautiful. Came to this open area here, this meadow, and you can see exactly how flat it is. The mountains have kind of disappeared. There's one in the distance over there. Besides that, it's just very rolling hillish and open. It's actually much warmer today than I thought it'd be. I think it's just the sun though. I think it's still only like 60, but there's quite a few people out here. It's Sunday and there seems to be quite a few people hiking on this trail today. Must be a popular area here just south of Harper's Ferry. How you doing? Real beautiful, all the different greens and everything, but it's definitely flatter, and it's going to keep getting flatter all the way through Pennsylvania, New York. I don't remember when it really starts getting smaller mountains. Maybe in New York, but definitely a lot of rocks will be coming. But here for the next 100, 200 miles, it's just a lot of flatness. Keeps getting flatter, I should say. Reminds me of where I grew up in Ohio. Lived in Florida as soon as I had a choice, but grew up in Ohio and born in Indiana, so this is the kind of stuff I'm used to here. But yeah, it's definitely crowded. There was 3 people that I just let pass me. Like, geez, They have a good pace going. And they were right behind me. Like, but they were so loud talking. It's like I heard every word they said. So like, you know, you guys go ahead. Especially when I'm doing a YouTube video, you know. I feel like I have to yell to be able to be heard. I don't want to have to do that, so you guys just go ahead. If I catch up, then I'll pass you then. But for now, because they all had a pretty good pace going. Like I said, day hikers. A lot of day hikers here today, I've noticed. So it must be a popular area, but I'm glad people are getting out and enjoying it. It's beautiful weather to be enjoying it. Just not very conducive when you're trying to do a YouTube video. Or when you are someone like me who likes the peace and quiet. Alright, as you can see, beautiful area here. Gonna keep continuing on. Roller coaster area. It's gonna be a lot of the same, just a bunch of big rolling hills. Steep ones. That little hill that I just came up there was pretty steep, so probably a pretty good idea of what the roller coaster is gonna be like, just up and down, up and down, up and down. But beautiful greens, beautiful meadows, beautiful forest. What else can you ask for? Except a few mountains to summit. But you know, been doing that. It's okay to not have a mountain every day to summit, because this nature is just as beautiful. The wildlife is just as beautiful. Seen a couple deer today, but they went running. They didn't stick around to be on the video. Alright, continuing on. So many people. Also, you could probably hear it. There is just all kinds of traffic noise in the background. It is definitely not a peaceful, quiet day. It's still beautiful, and those greens just pop. I'm telling you, it's just the sun hitting, even when it's behind the clouds. It is just so bright and beautiful and green. Wow. It amazes me how it looks after a rain. But yeah, I'm looking forward to today getting away from whatever roads it is that's causing all this traffic noise, because it's quite noisy, and I'm not really into that. I like the mountains and nature because I love the quiet and the peace. It almost gives me a little bit of anxiety hearing all that, but it definitely gives me anxiety with all the people passing, coming south and north both, and they're just, you know, loud, having fun, talking, which they have every right to do. I am not complaining. It's just, it's a little anxious for me. Just not what I'm into. It's why I started so early, to be way in front of the bubble, because I love people. I'm just not a big fan of being around a bunch of them. So hopefully I won't have to see too many more today, or I'll get more out into a deeper part on the trail where, you know, a lot of the day hikers aren't going or whatnot. I mean, this must just be really popular. I mean, this is the first Sunday, I think, that it's like 60 and sunny, which is perfect hiking weather, get out in nature weather, you know, so I get it. I totally get it. I mean, I would be doing the same thing if I wasn't on a through hike. I would just be doing it on a much more quiet mountain that's away from everybody. But I'm really glad they're out here and enjoying it. But definitely a lot of noises and the traffic and the humans. But that's okay. We go on. Well, now I know where all that traffic was coming from. Walking underneath Interstate 66 here. The trail shares the road here for a little bit. You can see that tree up there next to the street sign still has a white blaze on it, so it at least goes up that far. But that would be where all that noise was coming from, Interstate 66. And the road comes in here to another trailhead, which is also quite packed. There was like 3 trailhead parking places there from the time we came out of the forest to crossing the road to going underneath Interstate 66 to coming up here to the beginning of this trailhead. Whew. Good thing I didn't get turned around, huh? Nice picnic table. Big old bridge here over a little tiny creek. And back on the trail we go again. Well, I guess I've been on the trail, but you know, back in the trail in the forest once again. I'm going to hang up. I'm going to hang up because I'm on the phone here on the camera. I'm going to put this down, check my water, make sure I have enough water to get to the next water source. Keep on going or not. All right, see you at the trail. About 11 miles in today. 2,400 of elevation, which doesn't seem possible because it's been quite a bit of cruisiness. There have definitely been some spurts, though. 3 or 4 times pretty steep inclines. Not really going up mountains, just going up hills and then coming back down. It's pretty much staying between 900 and like 1,700 in elevation. So it's definitely not getting high. I don't even know if it's going to get above 2,000 in elevation before the end of Virginia. But yeah, it's pretty cruisy, but there's definitely been some elevation. I don't know how much further I'm going to go today with the late start. Might go to the next shelter, which is like 6 miles up, so maybe like 17 miles today. But we'll see. Play it by ear. Or I might go to a campsite that has like 4 tent sites on it and really close to a spring or a stream or something. So it has its own water source. And that one is a few miles past that shelter. And then the third option is to go to the next shelter past that, which is basically the first shelter after you enter the roller coaster region, which don't know if that's going to be any different than what it is right now, because it's been going up 300, 400, 500 feet and then down 300, 400, 500 feet, usually with some flat area in between. So I don't know if it's going to be any different, maybe more extreme, or maybe it's just dramatized by a sign. I have no idea. I've heard mixed emotions. Some people think it's tough. Some people think it's nothing more than what we've already done on this trail, or what I've done on this trail, or what other people have done on this trail, however you want to look at it. So play it by ear and see, but those are kind of my 3 options. I have no idea which one I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm not going to push myself too much, because here in about 2 days I am going to be pushing myself on what is called the 4-state challenge. So real quick, what that is, and we'll obviously get more into this over the next couple days, but it's at the West Virginia line. You hike through West Virginia, you hike through Maryland, and you hike through Maryland to the Pennsylvania line. So you're touching 4 states in one day, about 45 miles. Yeah, I'm going to try it. So since I'm going to push myself that day so much, I don't necessarily need to be doing 25 and 30 mile days every day up until then. So if I do 17 or 18 today, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'll, obviously have an earlier start tomorrow. So I'll be getting the 20 to 25 tomorrow and the next day. And possibly that following day is when I would do the 4-state challenge. But we'll play that by ear. You'll definitely know it. You'll be counting down with me and following me on that day, so it'll be fun. And soon after that, we'll be at the halfway point. So a lot of good things coming, in the next 4 to 5 days. But as of today, don't know what I'm going to do. I want to give myself plenty of time to eat, set up camp, and make sure I'm all settled for a good night's sleep. Beautiful greens with the dark clouds over there. Just greens everywhere, I'm telling you, it's just gorgeous. And then over here, you got the clearing with the sun coming through. Right there. And over here you got more greens and the sun coming down on that part of it. And just beautiful everywhere. Up there you got different colors going on, a little bit of yellow going on with the greens. I'm telling you, it's just absolutely gorgeous right now. Even though it's flat and not any mountains to speak of, it definitely is pretty. Beautiful Mother Nature at her finest, in full bloom, coming back to life. Bright green forest everywhere with quite a few wildflowers starting to bloom. Not as much in this particular area, but you could still see them down here. I've seen at least 4 or 5 different kinds. Absolutely beautiful. Loving the spring here in Northern Virginia. So I'm stopping for the day. I am stopping at a shelter that will have some tent sites. I'm hoping they're good ones because I'd much rather stay in my tent than in a shelter, of course. But I made up my mind that I wanted to stop before the roller coaster. That way I could do it all tomorrow and not have to do part of it today and part of it tomorrow. I think it's like a 15-mile section of, some pretty good ups and downs. So looking forward to doing that all tomorrow, getting the sweat flowing. So I'll set up my tent tonight, set up camp, get a lot of food in me, get some good rest. It's a kind of an early day for me. 17 miles isn't that much for what I normally do anymore. So we'll take it as it comes, and that's what's coming today because I really wanted to do that all tomorrow. So I'm going to do that all tomorrow and get some food in me and get some good sleep and get an early start. So I'll talk to you later.